my analysis, my pre-fight prediction on the fight this weekend, since everybody else is seeming to chime in. So I'm going to go ahead and give my synopsis of the fight. The fight is between WBO champion Terrence Crawford and WBC, WBA, and IBF champion Errol Spence. And this fight's getting a lot of attention because this is probably the best fight that's been made in boxing in the last so many years. It's reminiscent of some of the, well, they're saying on paper it's reminiscent of some of the old school fights that took place, some 30, 35, 40 years ago between Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Hearns and Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard and Duran and so on and so forth during the glory days of boxing, or at least what they call the glory days of boxing. In this particular fight, I'm going to go with, no shocker to most people that know me, I'm going to go with Terrence Crawford in 5. Now, the prediction of 5 rounds may surprise some people, but I don't believe when Spence tells you that he's going to press Crawford out. I mean, that's just for you guys to buy the fight. I already know that Spence is not a pressure fighter. Spence is a boxer puncher that gets downhill. What do I mean when I say that? He's a boxer puncher that works behind a jab, and then he tries to work behind the jab and then get into mid-range, and then he throws body shots and hooks. And that's his game plan. It's not a game plan of cutting off the ring and applying steady pressure the whole fight. Now, what he will do is he'll apply pressure once he's broken you down. And that to me is not necessarily a classic pressure fighter. That's a boxer puncher that, of course, once he gets downhill, he'll apply pressure. The problem I see with that is that Crawford's feet are too good. I mean, I don't think Crawford has the best footwork I've ever seen, but his footwork's going to be too good for Errol Spence to attempt to basically pressure fight Terrence Crawford, because Errol Spence is a flat foot fighter that really moves slow. And I don't see him basically pressure fighting or pressing Terrence Crawford. What I see happening is that he's going to try to basically box Terrence Crawford. And I know that's not everybody else's, I guess, prediction to this fight. They really believe Spence when he says he's going to be a stepper and he's going to step to Terrence Crawford and he's going to press Terrence Crawford out. That's a bunch of bull. What he's going to do is he's going to come behind a jab and he's going to try to work his way in behind that jab. And he's going to try to box him the same way he did Mikey Garcia. The only difference is he did that with a lightweight, someone that was 2 divisions below him, and he's going to try to do the same thing with Terrence Crawford. It's just not going to work. What's going to happen is Terrence Crawford is going to take Errol Spence's best weapon away from him, and that's going to be the jab. And once he takes that jab away from Errol Spence will be basically a sitting duck. But there are 3. I'm going to give the 3 main reasons, and I'm going to let you go off this podcast. But I'm going to give you the 3 main reasons that Errol Spence is going to lose this fight. The first reason is that the PBC matches all of their fighters very easy. I know that's going to be hard for you Al Heyman PBC fans, but I mean, every time PBC goes up against a different promotion, I call them PBC the JV. Because every other promotion looks like varsity when you compare them. I mean, you look at Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, and more recently, Naoya Inoue, or whatever his name is, Inoue versus Cool Boy Steph Fulton. I mean, that was a complete shutout. And this weekend's fight is going to be no different. So the first problem is that they match their fighters very easy. The second reason is that the PBC lets their fighters have too long of layoffs. You can't go and fight world-class fighters when you have layoffs of anywhere from 12 to 14 to 15 months, and some people, in the case of Jamal Charlo, up to 2 years. I mean, that's a problem in itself. So the first reason is easy matchmaking. Second reason is layoff. And the third reason for just Spence is that he's had a horrific car injury. And matter of fact, he's had a horrific car injury as well as an eye injury, as well as actually a second crash. Although that second crash really wasn't as bad, but it still was a wreck. And that's a lot of miles on the body, as well as Spence has pretty much admitted that he was an alcoholic. So you've got those 3 things, and with probably the latter being the worst of all, although all three of them are bad. The latter being the worst when you talk about that horrific car accident where he flipped a car, a Ferrari, more than 3 times, and he's really blessed to be alive. And I really think that with PBC's easy matchmaking, he was able to, secure a Danny Garcia fight, which Danny Garcia is to be honest, trash. He's never done anything in the welterweight division. He did some things in the 140-pound division, but never anything in the 147 division. He then went ahead and fought Ugas, who was dropped from Top Rank because they didn't see the worth in Ugas, because they matched Ugas with the way you match people and you see what their worth is. And Top Rank and Matchroom and other promotions don't play that. They don't have the smoke and mirrors that Al Heyman and the PBC has. So that is it. That is my fight prediction. There's 3 reasons Errol Spence going to lose. I said them. I'll repeat them. Easy matchmaking, long layoff, and the car crash. Those are going to be too many things for a world-class fighter that is good on his feet, hits hard, punches in bunches. It's just going to be too much for Errol Spence. So my prediction is Terrence Crawford in 5 rounds knocks Errol Spence out, or stoppage by TKO. You guys have a good day. Watch the fight. Go ahead and buy the fight. I think the fight's $84.99 on Showtime. Please buy the fight. That'll let the boxing promoters know that when you put on good fights, people will watch them. So go to I guess it's Show Sports or Showtime or whatever. Download the app and buy it. It's gonna be a good card. I mean, I didn't really talk about the undercard, but the undercard is pretty decent. So you guys go out there and buy it, but like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Tell me what you think. That's my pre-fight prediction. I gave you the reasons that I picked Crawford in 5, and that's it. Oh, and by the way, I really didn't like that weigh-in. I'm going to talk about that real fast before I go. I really didn't like the weigh-in. I kind of thought it was a little too friendly. I mean, you guys are trying to sell the fight. I know people know that you're friends. We know you got on the phone. You made the fight happen, and that's good and dandy. And it probably won't affect the way you guys fight. But when you're trying to sell the fight to a casual fan, it would be good if you guys went ahead and just kept that role going, that you really don't like each other, that you really have a lot of animosity toward each other. It's almost like I'd rather see Bo Mack and Derrick James fight. They had more animosity toward each other than you guys. And I mean, I know you want to kind of quell all of the anger because your 2 factions, the Crawfords and the Aerosexuals or the Spence fans. I mean, I know you guys are going crazy out there about this fight, and but at the end of the day, I didn't really like that. But hey, watch the fight. It's going to be an epic fight. I've got Spence in 5. I've got Crawford in 5. I don't think it's going to go much further than that. So you guys tune into the fight. Again, subscribe, like, comment, share.
Happy holidays. Merry New Year. Y'all have a great day. It's a great feeling to be back.